David Atkins, I'm back. Um, this video is going to be called Electronic Assault and Mind Control. Basically talking about directed energy weapons. Also in the description, I'm putting my GoFundMe um in the description in case somebody wants to help me out, donate to me. I don't have use of my left leg. I might be getting released soon. I have no income, so that would help dramatically. Any donation would be appreciated. So here we go. Capabilities of the perps with ESMC, Electronic Assault Mind Control. The only fact we know for certain about electronic assault and mind control relates to the symptoms or how ESMC manifests itself to the victim. Targeted individuals are well aware of the capabilities of the assailants, but for those readers or listeners, in this case, who may be listening about electronic stalking and mind control for the first time, we're fixing to discuss some of these capabilities. Number one, monitor movements. The handlers not only know one's vehicular movements, but they can also view him and follow his movements on his house property, even inside his house. Once they hook the target with their equipment, they have ready access to him at all times. Their torture follows on the target wherever he goes, even to other states or abroad. Number two, hear and record one's conversations, along with those whom one talks. This can be done even hear and record one's conversations along with those with whom he talks. This can be done even in a moving vehicle while on foot in a rural area. The harassers can occasionally record and play back to the victim excerpts of some of those conversations in his brains. The handlers can also record a person's voice and then later simulate that voice. Number three, see through the victim's eyes. One's eyes are controlled by his brain. Thus, by controlling the victim's brain, the handlers can probably see whatever the victim sees. Not only that, but with their specialized software, they can also see what he thinks. Nevertheless, some of what the handlers lead the victims to believe that they can see may be another example of deception through psychological trickery. Number four, view the victim's interior and zoom in on any part or organ of the body, even the darkness. EKG, CAT scans, and functional MRIs can be performed by remote. The handlers probably use the GPS with directed sound to see and torture the target's body by remote. Number five, inject holographic pictures or images into a victim's thoughts. Number six, induce dreams, stage scenarios, and engage in the subliminal interrogations. These activities are best carried out while the target sleeps. While the target is in a dream state, the handlers can cause him not only to view dreams, but to participate in them. Indeed, the handlers describe situations and talk the target through them. They do not perform that simply for fun, but to make suggestions to the target that reinforce their objectives to extract information. Number seven, and I got a lot of friends, including me, that go through this stuff right here. Apply a variety of torture techniques to the body. Many of those effects may be perhaps done through the use of silent, directed sound, and various PC software used over the voice-to-brain communication. Other may be psychological or aided by psychological suggestions through the handler's subliminal first layer and second layer into the target's brain. These and direct energy weapons. These effects include sensation of pinpricks in the eyes, shoulders, face, feet, elbows, and other areas. The pinprick can be instantaneous or can be prolonged. They can also cause the entire lower legs to feel like they're being struck by pins. Intense pressure on the bridge of the nose. Restless legs. The sensation begins in the small of the back and extends into the extremities, causing a restless leg syndromes. I could feel that sensation coming on as the handlers applied their vibrations to my body. Sometimes when that happens, the legs will jerk involuntarily. Electrical jolts. These affect the entire body and feel much like the shock that one gets from touching a low voltage electrical fence. I suspect that the jolts work along with previous hypnotic instructions to the target. For example, when a target feels the jolts, he is supposed to open his mind to the handlers. Tremors or vibrations. These can affect the whole body or be focused on one specific part of the body. They can range from very mild to violent. I believe that the jolts and vibrations may be partially pre-hypnotic suggestions causing the target to think he feels the jolts and vibrations whenever the handlers whisper the code word. In other words, those physical effects may be instead psychological effects resulting in physical reactions. Zapping in on the head. These sound much like sparks from a welder's torch or like a children's sparklers used as fireworks or holidays. Clicking in the left ear. Severe cramping, mainly in the calves of the legs. Numbness in the limbs from the base of the spinal column to the toes. Coughing. Induced erections by vibrating very lightly the inside of the urethra and groin. Those erections usually occur while the handlers whispers the names of friends and relatives, very obviously attempting to cause the target psychologically to associate the sexual sensation with those people. Stomach aches and pains, indigestion, nausea, dizziness, gas on the stomach and in the intestines. Sodomizing and virtual rape, using some force to probe the anal cavity and the vagina. It could also be purely psychological suggestions, and I got friends that actually experienced that. Lethargy and listlessness. I suspect that many people suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome are actually victims of electronic stalk and mind control. Tinnitus. Inability to urinate or frequent urination. I ain't been able to urinate in a month. I'm just now getting the catheter out and being able to urinate. They've took the catheter out several times and let me try about 20 times in the last month, and I'm just now able to urinate. So yes, inability to urinate or frequent urination. Constipation. I've been constipated, but that's from sitting in bed for 30 days. Sleep deprivation. All of this leads to sleep deprivation when this becomes a symptom itself. This is designed to weaken the victim's body as well as his mind and cause him to have motor, household, and other accidents. In addition, it makes the victim more vulnerable to mind control. Conversely, the handler's device can also make targets incredibly sleepy. Yep, been doing that lately, and actually cause his eyes to close involuntarily. Yep. Sensation of crawling insects on the face and neck, intense itching. This can be any place on the body. They will often make it seem like a mosquito bite or a fire ant bite. The itching is normally on the hands or the feet. Mine was on my eyes. Twitching of the fingers. The perverts not only want to annoy you, but also convince you you're developing Parkinson's disease. Partial loss of sight, and I got friends who've lost sight in their eyes. The handlers do something to the eyes that make them feel as if a grain of sand is underneath the eyelid. They also cause pinpricks in the eyes. Destabilization of hand-to-eye coordination, causing targets to strike their hands against objects, misstep, bump against objects, stumble, and misjudge their distances. Inability to open the left eye in the morning. The handlers often do something to people's left eye. Twitching eyelid, usually the left eye. The handlers cause this because of, I'm just going to ignore that. Throbbing in the head. This has something to do with mining the brain, or it's part of the psychological condition to make the target believe that he must reveal his thoughts. Aches and pains in various parts of the body. They can also cause arthritic pain in the hands, pains in the lower back, extreme pains in the legs by striking the sciatic nerve. Unnatural salivation. Conversely, dry mouth. tingling vibration focused on the out of the right side nostril can of course focus on any location. Involuntary physical movements. For example, when I type my emails, a computer documents the perf software which constantly pummels my brain causes me to reverse certain consonants and vowels, slowing down considerably my typing speed. Other targets have suffered serious falls when the devices cause their knees to buckle. The handler's device can also cause the arms and legs to flail and jerk involuntarily. I have awoken while sleeping when one of my arms flailed into the headboard. Occasionally, when I nod on the sofa, the handlers cause one of my legs to jerk involuntarily. Mine does that all the time. Right when I'm finna go to sleep, my whole body will jerk. Heart flutters and irregular palpitations. Extreme sensitivity to light. Pressure on the bladder causing the victim to want to urinate very often. Sores in various areas. High and sudden temperature rises in the body. Stopped up ear canals. Pressure on the bridge of the nose, the kidneys, and the prostate. Intense itching on the scalp. Constriction in the esophagus, and I know in a hiatal hernia. And I know people that's had that. The constriction in the esophagus where their throats feel like they can't breathe. Fox heartbeat that occurs on the back opposite the heart or on the head. Electrical like buzzing in the groin and on the right hip. Fibromyalgia. Most, if not all, symptoms and ailments listed above can be delivered by remote through an assortment of software used by a computer that connects involuntarily to a microchip. However, they do not need to use no microchips. The physical symptoms named above are a very deliberate and important part of the handler's protocol. The objective is to make the target continually aware of his seemingly hopeless situation. That in turn causes sleep deprivation and anxiety. The feeling of hopelessness, sleep deprivation, and anxiety lay the groundwork for mind control, the ultimate aim. Many targets seek to escape those physical symptoms and their neurological attacks by relocating to a different state, even to a different country. No target has ever succeeded in escaping these activities. Moreover, those effects, including V2K, occur whenever the targets are in airplanes or when they are far on the ground. That fact implies that at least some portion of electronic stalking mind control attacks is made via satellite, and there must be some way to contact the subject. The electronic jolts and vibrations also affect domesticated animals or pets. Jolts and vibrations. Almost every victim of electronic stalking and mind control mentions electronic like jolts or shocks and vibrations when discussing the symptoms. The jolts and vibrations not only cause target discomfort and remind the targets they are being monitored, but they also serve a neurological purpose. Jolts. This effect is felt physically. However, it may be aided by psychological suggestion. This sensation may work along with the post-hypnotic suggestions planted in the target's subconscious through the handler's subliminal voices to prepare the victim's mind for interrogation and programming. The target's subconscious has been previously advised by the handlers that when they feel the jolts, they will open their minds and thoughts to the handlers. This sense the handlers are able to exploit more easy the target's minds. Vibrations may be partially psychological, if not augmented psychologically. Usually a jolt precedes the vibrations. Let's roll on down here, man. Number 8, cause the target financial problems and ruin his credit. Keep in mind that most targets live on fixed incomes. Most of them have to live frugally. Yet the handlers employ a bag of tricks designed to drain the target financially through the following actions: make the target spend thousands of dollars on remedies and gadgets that supposedly do away with or limit the effects of electronic stalking and mind control, causing him to hire detectives or investigate, causing the target to make mathematical errors on taxes and other documents, affecting the target's judgment that ends in making faulty and costly decisions, destroying expensive household and other items, making targets have to replace them, distracting the target so he forgets to pay bills on time, creating problems with electrical system, mechanical devices, especially computers and printers, which make targets have to hire technicians to repair, urging targets through their voice-to-brain subliminal suggestions to buy expensive, needless items, fomenting personal and other problems that require targets to hire lawyers, sending targets to the hospital emergency rooms due to physical problems they cause with their devices, ruining the target's credit, robbing targets of their time by harassing them continually with electronic assault, mind control, thus keeping them from tending to their business affairs. Very often, targets lose their jobs because of electronic stalking and mind control distraction in their lives. Causing targets one of financial ruin is one of the aims of the handlers. Broke people are usually harmless and defenseless. Many of the targets with whom I have corresponded have depleted their savings and have gone into bankruptcy because of these perverts. Others have been forced into homeless shelters, and still others have become virtually street people. The handlers set out to break targets financially, and they often do. And I'm going to finish this on another day. This is 16 minutes long so far. I'm going to stop there and continue later on. Thank y'all, and God bless y'all.